Good morning and welcome to Morning Markets on the 20th of November. Today we'll just reflect back on how markets performed last week, some of the catalysts there, and look to the week ahead. Last week brought further gains for asset markets, both when we look at bonds and equities. And that better sentiment has really been driven by the ongoing decline that we've seen in sovereign bond yields and what we see with that in terms of the easing of financial conditions. Decline really been triggered by ongoing data from the US, which indicated a better inflation picture that we discussed last week, and then some signs that the labour market continues to cool. All that building into that narrative that we're maybe closer and at the peak of interest rates in the US, but also that narrative building that we will see interest rate reductions as we look into 2024 as well. And certainly that decline in sovereign yields has been supportive for global equity markets over this period of time. I think also it's worth noting as we look to the week ahead, and we've got quite a number of events to focus on. It's a holiday shortened week in the US with Thanksgiving, which will probably see a very quiet end to the week in terms of US activity. But one point I did want to highlight from that is the associated Black Friday sales and what that will give us a view on in terms of the health of the consumer. It's very evident when we look at how the economy has evolved and consumer spending has evolved over the last 12 to 18 months, that there's been this move from goods to services. It'll be very interesting to see how that evolves with the Black Friday data. Also this week we'll have the US Fed's minutes from their last meeting, which I'm sure will be closely read through to look at any indication as to how policymakers are portraying the current policy stance. And then finally, just when we turn closer to home, here in the UK, we've got the autumn statement from Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor. A lot of focus on the weekend as to how that may bring about some taxation changes, be that at a business or personal level. I think really, as we've discussed in the past, the key thing that we really need to see is longer term policy action that boosts the long-term economic growth rate of the UK economy. I'll leave it there today, but please do join us again tomorrow. Many thanks.